Good morning. Welcome to Ridge Life Lessons from the Ridge on Sunday morning. Hope everyone is doing well. Bright and early on this Sunday morning. I know a lot of people have been up for many hours, and some are just now getting up. So, welcome all. I think Kevin from Lazy Pond Farms got some obligations with his brother today. So, y'all have a great day. Ed and Ernie stopped in earlier and they're heading off to church. So Ed and Ernie Hatmaker, y'all have a blessed day as well. Linda Wall, our great friend Linda Wall is in here. Thank you, Linda. And she may be bringing over a new friend, Luann Bosler. Luann Bosler is friends from Rustic Woodwork and Family and Walker Farm Fam. So if y'all see Luann Bosler in here today, make sure you welcome her to the Ridge Life Lessons from the Ridge. I'll try to keep my eye out down there as well. But love new friends coming into the channel and watching us. We do all kinds of homesteading, repairs, hunting, fishing, all those things here on Ridge Life. But on Sundays, we dedicate it to the Lord and to reading His Word and discussing it amongst each other. So, Christy Betts, good morning, good morning. Southern Life Homestead, good morning, Southern Life Homestead. Sitting here Sunday morning. Lessons from the Ridge, drinking a little coffee. Beautiful, just a wonderful day. It's been raining this weekend, and a little tough to get things done. Castle Hives is sitting in an airport in Nashville, Tennessee, so wish him safe travels. I was talking to him a little earlier too, so that's Brian from Castle Hives. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, it's rain this weekend. It's hard to get things done on the homestead. So I took advantage yesterday and got out, went to the tractor place and got some new rotary cutter blades. You'll be seeing us put those on soon, and pouring down rain, but we got the materials for the work when the rain stops. And of course, just did a few, took care of the rabbits and did a few other things in the rain, of course. And then we spent time playing Phase 10. Phase 10's a long game, especially if you do points. And Castle Highs 499 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You have a blessed day too. That's very nice of you, Brian. Thank you. You again have safe travels, buddy. But family time, when it rains and you can't do things as much and move things outside, take advantage of committing yourselves to family time. Excuse me. Playing a game, board games, card games. Just get off the screens and do those type of together things. Cook something, repair something in the house together. Those are all fun things you can do as a family unit when it's raining outside. You can't go outside and have fun on the property. So again, thanks, Brian. I appreciate that so much. We'll put that towards our 3,000 subscriber giveaway coming up very soon. Guys, we are approaching we're like 2,950 subscribers. We're 50 away from 3,000. I just in like 9 months. That's crazy. I don't see myself buffering. I'm watching on YouTube on my laptop. I'm recording or I'm videoing from my phone, and I'm actually watching the replay on my laptop. I'm not buffering there, so if I'm buffering on your end, I do apologize. If anybody else is seeing me buffer, please let me know as well. Yeah, just so many things going on right now. Jaeufm, good to see you. Good morning. We've got deer season coming up. Lots of prep for that, and I love getting out with the kids and Starla deer hunting. I just can't wait. Morgan got his first deer last year. I'm hoping Starla gets hers this year, and Gavin, that'd be so cool. Of course, all the preparation, getting new tree stands up, clearing fields, getting food plots out. Those are all super fun things. Got to get the tractor going to get all that work done. Christy says, I have a new phone service. Maybe that. Hopefully it works out for you, Christy. Find that one good spot in your house. Sometimes you got to find that one good spot. Winging it with Irish Colleen. Good morning. 68P Johnston says, buffering here in Ireland. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. In Ireland, good to see you in Ireland. Wow, that's a long way away. What's the time difference? Let's see, 7 hours difference, I believe, in Ireland from here. It's 6 hours from East Coast, 1 for the Midwest. So 7 hours. 7 hours later in the day. So you're already past lunch up there. So hope you're having a great afternoon. Is Tennessee a shotgun only state for deer hunting? No, we can use any type of center fire cartridge pretty much, larger than 22 caliber, so 223 and above. Actually 17. I think 17 and above. Anyways, any center fire cartridge I believe you can use in Tennessee. Now we can shoot for long distances. Of course, around here most everything I shoot is short distance. I do use a 30-06 to hunt with. But most of the things we're shooting at are 200 yards or less. 15:05, so 3:05 in the afternoon there in Ireland. Well, good to have you here, that's for sure. 50 caliber, there you go, Castle High 50 caliber. Now I shot one last year, my first ever muzzleload buck with a 50 caliber. That was awesome. That was, you know, boom, the smoke and all that stuff. That's pretty crazy. Oh, guys, we're going to talk about commitment today. Commitment and covenant, and it will cost you, but it's worth it. I guarantee commitment and covenant will cost you, but it's worth it. Let's see how many we have in here. We have 9 in here right now, 5 thumbs up. Give it just a little more time for people to come in. I'm going to adjust my screen just a hair more there. There we go. All right. Got the sinuses from all the ragweed and all the stuff going on out there. You'd think the rain would push it down, but man, I was out mowing with a 0-turn radius mower at the end of the week last week, and whew, just got me good, that's for sure. I hope everyone is recovering from what's going on in the nation and the world. It seems like we are in a recovery. It's tough because things seem repressed, oppressed, but I do see signs of recovery, so that's a good thing, and hopefully you're feeling that too where you're at. I know if you are in the restaurant industry, airline industry, those things, I know you're hit hard. I know. I apologize. And when we go to the restaurant and you know, you see there's just 25% capacity. I try to make sure that we tip the waiters and waitresses at least double what we normally tip. It's the least we can do because they're hurt so bad. So take care of your waiters, waitresses, all any people in those type of industries, because they're hit really hard. You know, some industries, like Home Depot, Lowe's, the home repair. If you're in the construction industry, you guys are kicking butt and taking names. So it's very, very polarized there in this process. Christy Beth says her allergies are kicking up too. Yeah. I saw peppermint tea is good for allergies. There's another one I saw. I don't know if I've tried peppermint tea. I think I've had coffees, foo-foo coffees with peppermint and stuff in them, but right here, black coffee with a sweetener. So no frou-frou. Okay. Well, guys, we're going to get into our lesson today, and I think you're going to enjoy it. It maybe can right your ship a little bit, help you focus on what's important, and help you realize that the commitment and the sacrifice you're putting forth is worth it. It is biblical. So when you're trying to lead that godly life, you're trying to be a good husband, a good wife, a good child to your parents, a good worker, a good patriot, those sacrifices you make are not going unseen by the Lord. They are biblical, and even if others don't appreciate them, even the people you're working for, you're being committed to, even if they're not appreciative of those, God sees that, and He is appreciative. And we'll see in the Bible how that is exhibited and how what He tells us about those things. So again, today's lesson is how commitment will cost you and why it's worth it. God has called us to take the land. He has ordained it for us and to lead others to take the land in their own lives. In order to fulfill these callings, we must be determined to go all the way. It's easy enough to be a starter. It's a lot more challenging to be a finisher. Finishing requires complete commitment. Plenty of people may start a business, launch a ministry, begin a journey toward a fulfilling of prophetic word in their lives. But actually crossing the finish line and turning that God-given dream into reality is a totally different story. There will be a million opportunities to quit along the way. Only if we remain committed to our vision and push past all limitations can we go all the way and see our project through to a beautiful completion. And I know you've all felt that. I know you felt that, man, is what I'm doing really worth it? You know, it's so easy just to get off this train and try something else when we were so committed to it in the beginning. And there is cost and benefit, I promise you. Commitment and selfishness cannot coexist. When we have a selfish motive and are led off by self-centered desires, we can't commit to anything outside our own comfort zones. But when we are committed, we realize we must press past our comfort zones to come into our own potential zones, what we're capable of. True commitment compels us to kiss our comfort zones goodbye. Your comfort zone is where you do what you want, when you want. It's all about what you want, what you think, and how you feel. But when you are committed to doing something beyond yourself, bigger, you are willing to get outside your comfort zone and reach your potential zone. Sunny's Place, Emma, good morning, good morning. We're talking about commitment, how there's a sacrifice and how it's worth it. Jason, homesteading Northern Michigan, good morning, good morning. Simply Southern Roots, Linda Wall, Christy Betts, Castle Hives, awesome, awesome people. Thank you all, 10 people in here this morning. Good morning, good morning. We're talking about the cost and benefits of commitment. We need to be committed to the call of God in our lives and the vision of the ministry God has given us. We must be committed to our relationships, our covenant connections, if you will. And we must be committed to a strong work ethic. These days, many people shy away from commitment. As a result, they miss out on all the blessings from the true commitment. So there's this commitment of covenant. You know, you tons of times in the Bible, you've heard the phrase, a covenant with so-and-so. Well, what does that mean? And how is commitment intermingled in that? Well, the ultimate commitment is a covenant. God has ordained for the establishment of relationships I like to call covenant connections. Divinely arranged partnerships that will enable us to cross over to a place of limitless living in Christ. God is a covenant-making, covenant-keeping God. So it's no wonder that covenant connections are so important to him. Here's what the psalmist had to say about God's covenant-keeping nature. He remembers his covenant forever, the promise he made for 1,000 generations, the covenant he made with Abraham, the oath he swore to Isaac. He confirmed it to Jacob as a decree, to Israel as an everlasting covenant. To you I will give the land of Canaan as the portion you will inherit. That's Psalms 105, 8 through 11. Colleen, good morning, good morning. God brings covenant connections into our lives that are directly related to our call and purpose. We must guard and strengthen our covenant connections with God and his people because the enemy is attacking. He's wanting to pull us off track for those. I guarantee it. Now let's compare covenant relationships with God and covenants with men. Maybe other people have forgotten or chosen to neglect a covenant they made with you. Many people desire benefits of a covenant, but aren't willing to do the work required to hold up their end. But our Heavenly Father never forgets or breaks his covenants. They are everlasting. They stand through thick and thin, no matter what. We should strive to live in such a way that the same can be said of our covenants. My definition of a covenant is your benefit at my expense. We should enter into every covenant with that mindset because covenants are a serious commitment before the Lord. Unfortunately, many people form covenants while thinking my benefit at your expense. That's not true covenant, and that's why a lot of marriages end in divorce. Too many people enter into a marriage covenant and have no idea what it really means. In a true covenant, both parties are ready to lay down their lives for each other. They're willing to pay the price and make the sacrifice needed to guard and protect the covenant connection. K&R Destination, good morning. At home with Tom and Rhonda Howard, good morning. Awesome, good to see you in here. Parts and Pieces, good morning, good morning. We appreciate you stopping in, that's for sure. Awesome. Busy for winter, that's right, Jason, getting busy for winter. Awesome. So the purpose of our covenant connections. Since God is a creator of covenants, when we remain committed to our covenant connections, we reap divine blessings. Our covenant connections themselves are designed to bless us. God ordained these relationships for our lives to help us cross over into a personal promised land and possess his promises. Covenant connections put us in a place where God wants us. And in order for us to fulfill his call and purposes in our lives. Fireball Fred, good morning. Happy Sunday, buddy. Appreciate you. I was just looking at the gnome yesterday. Kevin, my Lazy Pond Farm gnome. Got him up on my bookshelf right behind the camera there. I love that gnome, buddy. And he's being good, believe it or not. Kevin, the Lazy Pond Farm gnome, is being good. Just like you are last Sunday too, buddy. I appreciate you. Sonny's Place says, amen. We never talk about divorce, even jokingly, because we decided early on that's not an option. Excellent. And that covenant, those covenant connections should never be an option to break, because like God's covenants, they're permanent. So very good, Sonny's Place. Emma, I appreciate that. He's a good gnome with a good heart. Yes, he is, Fireball Fred. Yes, he is. Okay, what was that here? Covenant connections are life-giving, edifying, and mutually beneficial relationships. Just as we need to discern covenant connections the Father has planned for us, we also need to discern when relationship is not from God. We don't have time to waste. Certain relationships may drain us emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and financially. These unhealthy, out-of-balance relationships aren't covenant connections. Covenant connections are life-giving, edifying, mutually beneficial relationships in which both parties operate with a mindset that says, your benefit at my expense. You should resist comparing our covenant connections with anyone else's. I always say, you don't need a lot of people to like you. You just need that right one. When you are in a covenant connection with God, he will provide you with every human covenant connection you need. What's a picture of it? What does it look like? So a beautiful example of a covenant commitment is found in the Bible, of course, in the characters of Ruth and Boaz, whose story was read in the book of Ruth. Ruth was a woman of rare commitment. She was committed to completing her God-given assignment and wholeheartedly devoted to her covenant connections, especially Naomi, the mother of her late husband, and her second husband, Boaz. Even after Ruth was left a widow, she made the declaration to her mother-in-law, where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. Buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if even death separates you and me. That's Ruth 1:16 and 17. Good coffee on a Sunday morning. Love the great people in here. Let's see, we've got 16 people watching on this Sunday morning, talking about commitment, covenant, and why it's important and why the sacrifice is worth it. And we're talking about Ruth. The book of Ruth is awesome. There's so much to get from it. She is one of the leading female characters in the Bible, and for very good reason. Ruth never grumbled or complained about the price she had to pay for being faithful to her covenant connections. She wasn't focused on her own desires or personal agenda. No, she was committed to God's plan for her life. Her commitment earned the notice of Boaz, a wealthy man of upstanding character. As a result, she received Boaz's blessing, her Boaz blessing, as ultimately became his wife. God was setting up Ruth for her Boaz blessing, but he was also setting up Boaz for his blessing. Her mother-in-law asked, "Where did you glean today? Where did you work? Blessed be the man who took notice of you." Ruth 2:19. With commitment comes responsibility, but it's always well worth the price. Boaz was blessed because he took notice of Ruth and allowed her to glean the crops in his fields. But before he received the ultimate blessing of her as his wife, he gave his kinsman the chance to marry her. Now let's see what the verses have to say about that. "I thought I should speak to you about it so that you can redeem it if you wish. If you want the land, then buy it here in the presence of these witnesses. But if you don't want it, let me know right away, because I am next in line to redeem it after you." The man replied, "All right, I'll redeem it." Then Boaz told him, "Of course, your purchase of the land from Naomi also requires that you marry Ruth, the Moabite widow. That way she can have children who will carry on her husband's name and keep the land in the family." "Then I can't redeem it," the family redeemer replied, "because this might endanger my own estate. You redeem the land, I cannot do it." That's Ruth 4:4-6. Boaz was the next in line. That's from Ruth 4:4. And he ended up receiving the blessing of Ruth because the other man refused. He refused to help her. He was too worried about himself. Boaz was willing to pay the price and take the responsibility of marrying Ruth, a widow. With commitment comes responsibility, but it's always well worth the price. Sometimes the person at the front of the line doesn't want to pay the price for the blessing. When the kinsman in line before Boaz said he could not be Ruth's guardian redeemer because I might endanger my own estate, Ruth 4:6, what he meant was, I won't do it. He acted selfishly and he didn't want to take the risk. So Boaz received the blessing of Ruth while the other man missed the blessing. Luann Bosler, good morning, good morning. We were told you may be here and we are excited to have you here. I heard you're a good friend from a couple other channels, and we are appreciative of you coming in this morning to Lessons from the Ridge. Very, very excited to see you. We are talking about commitment, God's covenant, and how the price of those commitments are so worth it. There's sacrifice along the way, but the end result, the blessing, abounds in Him. And we are so excited. So good to have you here, Luann Bosler. And thank you very much, Linda. Thank you very much. Everyone, welcome Luann to Lessons from the Ridge. Please. Tim's World. Good morning, Tim's World. Awesome. Thank you, K&R Destination. I appreciate that. Kevin from Lazy Pond Farm is out this morning helping his brother, like a good brother should. So K&R Destination is throwing in the link for me. I appreciate that. Midwest Duck Slayer. Good morning, brother. Awesome. Well, don't be afraid of what it might cost you, for God's grace is always sufficient. We must be determined not to miss any of these blessings that God has for us. If we aren't willing to pay the price for God's will, God always has something else waiting in the wings who He will bless. If we're not ready to answer that call, He knows who will. He gives us that opportunity, like the man redeemer, the family redeemer of the land, where Boaz stood by and was waiting. And if you're not that one, if you're not Boaz, somebody else is. I guarantee it. When you are in a covenant relationship with the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, when you stay committed to your God-given assignments and relationships, there is no limit to what God will do in you, through you, and ultimately for you. Midwest Duck Slayer, but it is all good, brother. We're forgiveness abounds in a Christian's heart. We all make mistakes, and I'm not saying yours was a mistake. I know I am a sinner. I make mistakes all the time. I'm just lucky to be surrounded by good people that can forgive me and if I ask for forgiveness. And I appreciate that so much. So thank you for being here. I appreciate that. And we all have them occasionally. That's right. That's for sure. I know. Ask my wife. I am in need of forgiveness often. Parts and Pieces, cool live, Ridge Life. I will be joining live more often, buddy. Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Parts and Pieces. Good to have you here, that's for sure. Guys, commitment and covenant is so important. And the way we share that with others means a lot to God. And you can tell the way he writes about covenant. When he had the covenant with Abraham and Isaac and Israel, they were always so matter of fact. Like, he will never forsake us. He will never leave us. And he will never depart from that promise. And we need to live the same way. I know it's difficult. We fail. We will fail. We are human. We're not God. But he loves to see us try. He loves to see us let the Spirit lead us in those instances. Good morning, Heath. Good morning. Good to have you here, buddy. I'm going to read a couple. I'm going to read from Proverbs. I'm going to read from Psalms, because there's pieces in there that talk about this covenant and commitment. But there's so much more. I love these verses. So they're a little bit long. I may stop a couple times in the middle of them to talk about things. But I love these verses. So we'll read Proverbs 16. Midwest X-Slayer, he said, I went off because I felt freedom of speech was under attack. Understand, buddy, and I am the biggest proponent of freedom of speech. We need to make sure we have the ability, and it is a God-given. Well, let me say it. The Declaration of Independence gave us our inalienable rights. The Bill of Rights are privileges given to us under our Constitution, which was anointed by God. So indirectly, you are that is very true, and we cannot abridge, alter, or change for today those rights. And we need to make sure we hold true to them and are given every opportunity for those people to exercise those rights. So right on, buddy, right on. Oh, thank you, Ken, Our Destination. I appreciate that so much. So Proverbs 16, everybody. Hopefully you know this. You've heard pieces of this, and sometimes we miss these. And there's some jewels in Proverbs. I promise you, if you haven't read Proverbs, I remember I'd gotten cassette. I'm gonna date myself here. I got cassette tapes of Charlton Heston reading Proverbs and Psalms, and I used to put it in the truck and listen to it on the way to and from work, and just hearing him in his voice read Proverbs and Psalms. Charlton Heston, Moses, right? Was just amazing. And so I'm not Charlton Heston, so it's not going to sound near as good as him reading these, but hopefully you can get as much as I got listening to these words. So Proverbs 16. We can make our own plans, but the Lord gives the right answer. People may be pure in their own eyes, but the Lord examines their motives. Commit your actions to the Lord and your plans will succeed. Commit. There you go. Right there's our commitment we're talking about today. Commit your actions to the Lord and your plans will succeed. So when we commit to doing something for someone, we do it and we commit that to the Lord, not to the person we're doing it for. We commit it to the Lord, we will succeed. The Lord has made everything for his own purposes, even the wicked for a day of disaster. The Lord detests the proud. They will surely be punished. Unfailing love and faithfulness make atonement for sin. By fearing the Lord, people avoid evil. And there's something in that right there that I like to expound on. When you have the full blessing of the Spirit in you, it's almost impossible for you to sin. Of course, obviously, we all sin. So therefore, none of us are full of the Spirit entirely. We place ourselves, we place our selfishness, we place our own ways in there and move the Spirit out. And therefore, we do these things. But whenever the Spirit is full in us, our ways are right. Our ways are righteous. When people's lives please the Lord, even their enemies are at peace with them. Wow. Better to have little with godliness than to be rich and dishonest. We can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. That's that free will we're talking about. The king speaks with divine wisdom, but must never judge unfairly. The Lord demands accurate scales and balances. He sets the standards for fairness. A king detests wrongdoing, for his rule is built on justice. The king is pleased with words from righteous lips. He loves those who speak honestly. The anger of the king is a deadly threat. The wise will try to appease. When the king smiles, there is life. His favor refreshes like a spring rain. How much better to get wisdom than gold, and good judgment than silver. The path of the virtuous leads away from evil, and good judgment, whoever follows that path is safe. Pride goes before destruction, and haughtiness before a fall. Better to live humbly with the poor than to share plunder with the proud. So true. Linda says, I love that series, and yes, I still have the cassettes and 8-tracks. I've got them somewhere too in the attic. I don't know if I have anything to play them on, but I love them. They were awesome. I think I got them off an infomercial or something. I said, I gotta have those. Those are awesome. And they were really awesome. The path of the virtuous leads away from evil. Whoever follows that path is safe. Pride goes before destruction. Discretion is a life-giving fountain to those who possess it, but discipline is wasted on fools. From a wise mind comes wise speech, but the words of the wise are persuasive. Kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul and healthy for the body. There is a path before each person that seems right, but in the end, it leads to death. Guys, every single one of these verses is a sermon in itself. And we could go back to each one of these and talk for days on what it could do for our lives to just listen to it. I mean, there's a path before each person that seems right, but ends in death. And that's our daily walk. You get up and man, there's that easy, wide path that could take us to where we want to go. But that narrow path to where we should go is paved with peril. It's hard to travel. But man, staying on it will keep you safe. It will keep you safe. You may experience a little tribulation here and there, but you will be safe and protected by the Lord. But that wide open path, man, there's pitfalls everywhere you just can't see. Again, we could talk about each one of these all day long. Simply Southern Root says, I'm listening and cooking for the bunch. Oh, yeah. I haven't had any breakfast today. Coffee for breakfast. It is good for workers to have an appetite. An empty stomach drives them on. Scoundrels create trouble. Their words are a destructive blaze. A troublemaker plants seeds of strife. Gossip separates the best of friends. Violent people mislead their companions, leading them down a harmful path. With narrowed eyes, people plot evil. With a smirk, they plan their mischief. Sounds like a lot going on today, doesn't it? Gray hair is a crown of glory. It is gained by living a godly life. Better to be patient than powerful. Better to have self-control than to conquer a city. We may throw the dice, but the Lord determines how they fall. Don't leave it to chance. Put it in the Lord's hand. Let's see. The right path is always the most difficult path. It's to keep the wicked out. That's right, because they don't want that. They don't want that tough path. They want the easy path. So when you're traveling that tough path, the right path, you're less likely to find those people. They're on the outskirts looking in, going, "Ooh, I want what you got. I want what you got, but I don't want to have to work for it. I don't want to have to work for it. I want what you got. I want what you got. I don't want to have to sacrifice what you sacrificed to get to where you are. I am entitled to it because I'm like you, brother. Just give it to me. I don't really deserve it, but I deserve it because I'm in bad need. I deserve it now. Whereas if they put in the commitment, God would bless them. Those that have much would see their plight and their struggle and their effort and would take care of them. Linda Wall says, seems fitting and mentions honey with all our beekeeping friends. That's right. I was just thinking the same thing when I read that. That's so true. That is so true. Oh, let's see here. Oh, what else are we talking about? Y'all feel free to please talk amongst yourselves about these verses, ones that mean something to you, that are affecting your walk today. Because Lessons from the Ridge isn't really just me reading things that I've written down. It's discussing these things, how God's word or these words are affecting you, or how you disagree. Again, if it's God's word, it's not for us to disagree. But if it's my discussion of, or my interpretation of, or my opinion of, I relish you guys saying, Tim, I don't think you got that right there, buddy. I think your supposition is a little bit off. And I need that. I need to be kept in check. All people that are doing these type of things for the Lord need to be kept in check, because if they're not kept in check by the followers, the congregation, the friends, the family, the peers, then the enemy can take hold of them. And you've seen that with so many religious leaders. The enemy takes hold of them, and power overcomes their desire to be godlike. Fireball Fred, I'm cooking French toast. Yum, yum, yum. I love some French toast. Close some pop-ups here so I can read what y'all are saying. Here we go. Boom. Now we're going to read Psalm 37. I love Psalm 37. So much good stuff. So Proverbs have those good words for us. They're just short verses, and there's so much packed in each one. And then the Psalms are so beautiful. And they go a little deeper than the Proverbs, but they have so much for us. If you're not reading Proverbs and Psalms regularly, you're missing so much. The Old Testament has so many good things in there for us today as new covenant creations. All right, Psalm 37, guys. Psalm 37. Don't worry about the wicked or envy those who do wrong. For like grass, they soon fade away. Like spring flowers, they soon wither. Trust in the Lord and do good. Then you will live safely in the land and prosper. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you your heart's desires. Commit everything you do to the Lord. Trust him, and he will help you. He will make your innocence radiate like the dawn, and the justice of your cause will shine like the noonday sun. A lot of people use this against Christians, where it says, take delight in the Lord and he will give you your heart's desires. All you got to do is just want for something, and need, not even a need, you just want something and God gives it to you. It's the prosperity gospel, but that's not what it said. It said, trust in the Lord and do good. Take delight in the Lord and he will give you your heart's desire. You got to be like his ways, and his ways make the selfishness in you go away. So then when you have these desires, they're desires like him. They're desires to treat your fellow man with respect. They're desires to give a helping hand up. See what I'm saying? Those desires change when you delight in the Lord. Wanting $1 million may be your desire. But when you delight in the Lord, those $1 million are to build a children's home, to build a shelter for dogs and cats, horse rescue, right? They're not for selfish purposes. That's delighting in the Lord. Man, you guys talking about food make me hungry. Woo, man. Loving it. Oh, okay, that sounds good. I'm going to be eating here shortly. Be still in the presence of the Lord and wait patiently for him to act. Don't worry about evil people who prosper or fret about their wicked schemes. Stop being angry. Turn from your rage. Do not lose your temper. It only leads to harm. For the wicked will be destroyed, but those who trust in the Lord will possess the land. Soon the wicked will disappear. Though you look for them, they will be gone. The lowly will possess the land and will live in peace and prosperity. The wicked plot against the godly. They snarl at them in defiance. But the Lord just laughs, for he sees their day of judgment coming. The wicked draw their swords and string their bows to kill the poor and the oppressed, to slaughter those who do right. But their swords will stab their own hearts, and their bows will be broken. It is better to be godly and have little than to be evil and rich. For the strength of the wicked will be shattered, but the Lord takes care of the godly. Day by day the Lord takes care of the innocent, and they will receive an inheritance that lasts forever. They will not be disgraced in hard times. Even in famine they will have more than enough. But the wicked will die. The Lord's enemies are like flowers in a field. They will disappear like smoke. These verses remind me of a lot of my preparedness friends. They don't live extravagant lives. They're not cruising in a Bentley or riding around in a Rolls Royce. They're plowing up their beans, their potatoes, their corn. Their peanuts. They're storing these things for times when their enemies may need them, and a good Christian will be there for them. Even though they weren't there for us. But their evil ways will be sought out, because they rush to and fro in the city, and they do things for their own desires, not for the desires of God in the godly people. And they will be lost. They will be judged. Just like we'll all be judged. I promise we'll all be judged. But if you don't have to live in the country. You don't have to have a lot of property. You don't have to be a prepper. You don't have to be a farmer, or there's so many things you can do if you live in the city to live this godly life we're talking about here. If you live in a cold, rural, if you're in Alaska, like Sean, Alaska, our good friend up there, or Carl off grid, there's so many things you can do in the realm in which you live to be a godly person, a godly steward of those things, and being prepared for what's come next. The wicked borrow and never repay, but the godly are generous givers. Those the Lord blesses will possess the land, but those he curses will die. The Lord directs the steps of the godly. He delights in every detail of their lives. Though they stumble, they will never fall, for the Lord holds them by the hand. Once I was young, and now I am old, yet I have never seen the godly abandoned or their children begging for bread. The godly always give generous loans to others, and their children are a blessing. Turn from evil and do good, and you will live in the land forever. For the Lord loves justice, and he will never abandon the godly. He will keep them safe forever, but the children of the wicked will die. The godly will possess the land and will live there forever. The godly offer good counsel. They teach right from wrong. They have made God's law their own, so they will never slip from his path. The wicked wait in ambush for the godly, looking for an excuse to kill them. But the Lord will not let the wicked succeed or let the godly be condemned when they are put on trial. A little bit rough there. A lot of those things, even Christians may go, I don't see that, God. I don't see my children, living this flourished life you're talking about. What is that telling me? Was I always a godly parent? Was I always a godly man, a godly husband? Maybe I wasn't. So now I look back and I go, the strife I see people around me going through, is it because how I lived in the past? And I say yes. I say yes for sure that the sins of the father definitely affect the family. And so we read these verses here and we're like, oh, that can't be right. That can't be right. Look at my life. Whew. Yes, Linda, no offense at all, but just Ms., not Mrs. for 17 years now. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. It's just a you know how it goes. And actually Heath said that, but I'm sure I've said it as well, Linda, so apologies here as well. So when you read these and you feel that twang of, oh God, why do I not feel this? That's a sign to reflect. That's a sign to reflect upon your life, where you've been and where you're going. And why can't you feel that way now? Midwest Duck Slayer, I lent $3,000 to a family member. They will never pay me back. And sometimes that's the way things work. And I've been told I'm naive, I'm a pushover, that I'm not, that other people in the family may need that money more than, and all I can do is read the Bible and tell me, God loves a cheerful giver. And our repayment may not be in the dollars that we give out. Our repayment almost will certainly be in blessings from God. Almost certainly will be. And if we ever get paid back the actual money, icing on the cake. Icing on the cake. Because I guarantee if God wanted us to give that money, there will be sufficient resources for the things he would have us do. I guarantee there will be sufficient resources to take the place of that. Baddest Bees, Chad L. Good morning, brothers. Good to have you in here for sure. Let's see here. Linda says, too funny, all is good. Did I miss something from Chad? If I did, I apologize. We're going to finish up with this section here. Put your hope in the Lord. Travel steadily along his path. He will honor you by giving you the land. You kind of hear this over and over, don't you? You will see the wicked destroyed. I have seen wicked and ruthless people flourishing like a tree in its native soil. But when I looked again, they were gone. Though I searched for them, I could not find them. Look at those who are honest and good, for a wonderful future awaits for those who love peace. But the rebellious will be destroyed. They have no future. The Lord rescues the godly, for he is their fortress in times of trouble. The Lord helps them, rescuing them from the wicked. He saves them, and they will find shelter in him. Love Psalms and Proverbs. I hope you do as well. Sunny Place Emma says, if family ever needs money, we just give it to them with no expectations of repayment. It's just better for everyone that way. I've seen that as well, that loans, loans have this connotation to them. And they don't really feel free love, like they're not like a cheerful giver feeling. And if we give in that manner and we're paid back in another manner, it's so much more of a blessing than waiting for the exact $2 to return. I agree 100%, Sunny's Place. Emma, thank you very much. Well, guys, we are 48 minutes in here. We're a little short today, and maybe that's for a reason. Maybe there's somebody who has to get off and do something. I know I'm hungry with all that food talk. If we've got more to discuss here, if someone's got some prayer requests, I know that we need to be praying for Chris Eagle, our good buddy Chris at Eagle Ridge. 30 days, 20 days, I forgot, goodness gracious. Sober. He is on a sobriety trail, and he wants our prayers and he wants our support, and he deserves it. He's working hard. So Chris Eagle, prayers for you, brother. Prayers for Brian at Castle Hives. He's traveling. He's traveling for a week for work, and we make sure we're keeping him in our thoughts and prayers. Those that are struggling, those that are having health issues right now, if you have those, please pray. Those that are out of work, pray that things open up for them. And they can, get back to being productive again. Parts and pieces, thanks for the live. Ridge Life, enjoyed watching. Everybody have a great day. Catch y'all later. Don't forget to hit that like button, everyone. Thank you so much. It's really great to have you in here. Parts and pieces. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Chad says, gotta get out there. Got 3 locomotives to get running. Well, you do that, buddy. Keep that steel moving, bud. I need you to. Luann Bosler could use some prayers. Luann's a new friend to Ridge Life. Good to have you in here. And let's everyone keep our new friend Luann in our thoughts and prayers if she needs them. And God knows her needs. And you just need to pray for them. Luann says, yeah, I hear you on pushing over thing. I feel like I have a sucker across from my forehead. Well, and God loves that, though. God can give you a discerning heart, and He can give you a free heart. And there's so much freedom in just doing what you feel God's leading you to do. There's freedom in that. And if people want to call you a sucker, if you're happy and full of joy, it sounds like they're the sucker. That they're missing out on that joy, that love that you get from being a sucker. That's how I feel about it. So hopefully you do as well. So prayers for you, Luann. Good to have you in here for sure. Let's see. Fireball Fred, have a great Sunday, buddy. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Linda says Luann is amazing. Oh, well, there you go. See, Luann, that people sense that in you, and they recognize that as a godlike trait. So Christ-like trait. Hope people got some great things planned for today. Again, if it's raining where you're at, spend some family time. If it's beautiful where you're at, get out, enjoy the earth, enjoy the property, enjoy the parks, whatever you got around you. If you're working today, I feel you. I worked shift work for many years and had to work on Sundays. Luckily, I'm in a place now where I'm not working Sundays usually. Work through today. You're the best effort you can, and hopefully you'll get to experience peace and rest soon. Emma says, no rain today, finally. So it worked. So it's a work day on the homestead. Yeah, work days happen whenever the opportunity presents, don't they? And I may end up getting up in the barn and putting those blades on. And I got a bunch of bee work I got to do, and I got to take care of some rabbits. I got to treat some rabbits. So thank you, Tim. Great lesson. Everyone have a blessed day. It's from D. Gads. That's Jason, homesteading North Michigan's mom. So good to see you, D. Gads. Hoping the hubby gets out in the forge to make a knife. Cool. That sounds fun. Love seeing those type of things. That is so awesome. Oh boy. I got some projects I've got to work on that I've been pushing off, and usually rain days are good days for those, when the weather is perfect, you get out and do those things that, that just major things that got to be done. But sometimes the little small things that you've been planning on doing get pushed aside. So maybe we'll get some of those things done today too. Or if you have any honeydew lists. I know I've got a corner of a wall that got whacked in from the dogs playing. You have 150-pound dogs. They hit the sheetrock corner facing, and they can do some damage. I got to put some mud in there and sand that down. So been needing to do that for a while. Let's see. Sonny's Place says, thinking about giving a knife away when we hit 1,000. Still a little ways to go, but that should be fun. Oh, absolutely. Luann says, yes, but some people take advantage of it and then turn around and make you be the bad person. Yeah, I think that the righteous won't see the other person as the bad person. It may, on the surface, appear that the other person turns it around, but I think the true at heart know the person, and I think they will see through that. It's a veil. It's a veil of falsehood. Did I get Gavin back out hunting? No, it was just a weekend hunt, that velvet hunt. We were going to go dove hunting, but I don't have, our field isn't really set up for it. So I sat out there one day and there was nothing flying over me except off the way in the distance, so I didn't take him out there to sit and not get any. But when deer season comes back in, he's excited. We're going to be going bow hunting, so you'll see us out there bow hunting with Gavin. Awesome. Let's see here. Well, guys, I think we're going to wrap this up for the day. I hope you enjoyed our discussion on commitment and covenant and why the sacrifice is worth it. I love discussing all the things here. New people coming in. Good to see Luann for sure, and other channels we saw coming here today, I think for the first time, or at least they commented for the first time. You know, they may have sat in here. Appreciate the super chat from Castle Highs, Brian, $4.99 super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you, buddy. We'll put that towards our 3,000 subscriber giveaway coming up very soon. I think we're at 51. We're 51 away, 51 subscribers away. So coming up close, 3,000 subscribers. That's crazy, guys. I was just at 18 subscribers last Christmas. I think around Christmas I was at 18 subscribers. So anything's possible. That's for sure. Anything is possible. Well, enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy all that you've got going on. You know, love your family. Make someone's day bright if you can. I guarantee you'll have a bright day as well. So until next time, I hope everyone has a blessed day and